All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Spiral versus XLord. Spiral spawning over here on the top left-hand side of the map as the red orc. Meanwhile, XLord over here on the bottom right as the blue undead. All right, as you take a look here, well, pretty much unfortunately, I cannot swap the positions on Xlord and Spiral. Xlord is the blue undead on the bottom right, even though he is on the top left on that overlay, and vice versa. Red versus blue on Terranistan, no way in, no way out, but they are still going to battle it out here. This is WGL Summer Season 2020, one of the Western qualifiers, and hopefully this game does not disappoint. All right, things gonna get underway. We are looking at a single Ultra of Storms coming in from Spiral. Most likely will be a Farseer, and then a very fast tech to tier 2. All right, with this fast tech to tier 2, what is Spiral's strategy going to be? Most likely, we're going to be looking at a bestiary and either a spirit, or most likely a spirit lodge. Or is it going to be double bestiary since it is going up against undead? And, well, X-Lord going to be bringing in a Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord opening up different possibilities, and I like what Blizzard has done in terms of the overall game now. And I mean, in years past, it was always going to be a Death Knight going up against a Blade Master. Now it is a Farseer, and the Undead actually has 3 options for opening heroes in the Crypt Lord, Dreadlord, and Death Knight, and even the Lich in the mirror match. So I really like that there are more important choices to make in the game. What do you think is better versus Undead now, Farseer or Blade Master? Well, the answer is, well, it depends. What map are you on, and what is your overall strategy? If your strategy is to try and harass your opponent early on while teching to tier 2 and being able to use that tech advantage, obviously the Farseer is that better choice. A single Blade Master by himself, not necessarily that effective. And you also want grunts as well in order to do a little bit of creeping. Farseer actually venturing from home without the support or help of a voodoo lounge, and we are actually getting up a war mill before we are even seeing a barracks placed down. That does mean that we are going to be going very, very heavy in terms of lumber, the war mill being positioned in a way where those peons don't have to walk nearly as far. Meanwhile, coming back across over here, well, Crypt Lord could cause a lot of problems. Farseer trying to get in some permanent damage here as the Crypt Lord just wandering around does have the sacrificial skull and the rod of necromancy. And, well, Xlord actually purposely choosing to do an easier creep camp and now venturing forth. So I don't believe Xlord's original strategy was to try and I think his original strategy was perhaps to try and creep, but instead he now sees that his opponent doesn't have that much, and now we're going into double watchtowers. Spiral reads the writing on the wall and knows that it is going to be a tower attempt, and now he's going to get some watchtowers, and we are also going to be getting barracks as well. So the barracks going to be coming online. Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat all the way back home. He wants to be able to stop some of this harassment now as the ghouls are already in position. Spiral is in a horrible position. No, those watchtowers gonna suffer a lot of damage. Orc Burrows now coming in as we are now getting into Ziggurats. All right, that War Mill first looking like it was an incredibly smart decision now as where the Great Hall is, well, nearing to tier 2. Are we going to get a second hero? That is what we're looking to see here. We also need to see that those barracks start training up some demolishers, as this is just a horrible spot to be in. Spiral, well, in a crazy location this stage in the game. Normally you would never dive into an orc base like this, but right now that's exactly what we're seeing. The Farseer is going to be able to back away. It gets taken down, and we are now perhaps going to be trying to resurrect that unit here. All right, lots of damage getting focused down onto all of those units. A Ziggurat about to come online. Spirit Wolf still engaging. Farseer will resurrect rather quickly as the Ziggurats are coming, well, already done. All right, X-Lord trying to escape back with that Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord taking a lot of damage. We are seeing some repairs as well. Ghoul is going to get taken down, but no experience really gained. As we're looking at that Crypt Lord down to 12 hit points, it gets taken out as well. One Demolisher back across over here. That Demolisher going to get taken out very quickly as well. It's trying to finish off some of those units. Is it going to be able to do anything here? Peons are desperately trying to repair as the Burrows are desperately trying to take down all of the remaining units, and it looks like Spiral's Demolisher will end up staying alive. Farseer in a good spot here, and Spiral has held off the attack. The Acolytes now going to try and get away. But the reading on each of these players, perhaps they play against each other very, very often, knowing each other's particular strategy, wanting to get that Demolisher faster, perhaps expecting the rush, getting that War Mill, getting that one Demolisher to shut down these two Ziggurats already, and X-Lords, well, will have to retreat with his tail between his legs. All right, Acolytes are coming in for repairs. One Demolisher currently up. Are we going to get more Demolishers as well? Level 2 now onto that Crypt Lord, as we are getting that Farseer with a Clarity Potion and also a Healing Salve. Spirit or Skeletal Minion trying to get some damage, unable to chase after that, as the Farseer needs those hit points and that mana. Voodoo Lounge could get taken down pretty fast. Orc Burrows or the Peons need to come over and repair as well. Acolytes just constantly dealing or repairing the Nerubian towers. The Demolisher unable to actually finish them off. Meanwhile, the Spirit Wolves are chasing away the Crypt Lord and this last ghoul. All right. This really, I don't know if this is actually the meta. This is really just fun and entertaining to look at. A very fast tech to tier 2 to try and take care of all of this here. It is definitely the play. Spiral perhaps was expecting the Crypt Lord to do a little bit of a rush. That's why we saw the War Mill even before the barracks, and getting that Demolisher online to finish off these remaining Nerubian towers. It's definitely meta now. Totally. In a recent match, XLord defended Exilene versus Night Off AP push. All right, tower push is perhaps much more popular as well. Being able to put down early pressure, and if that early pressure is able to find its target, well, and able to take out your opponent before your opponent is able to do anything, why wouldn't you do that there? As considering that these Ziggurats getting taken out will set X-Lord behind, as he needs to get in some additional towers as well. X-Lord sitting at 28 over 30 supply. His supply is rather low, and we're looking at a level 2, almost level 3 Crypt Lord going up against a level 1 Farseer and now a level 1 Tauren Chieftain. We are still at Necropolis. This is important to note. X-Lord is setting up his expansion, but he is only at tier 1 after 8 minutes of play. All right, it looks like Spirit Wolf Ghoul could get taken down. No, a Nerubian tower is right there slowing things down. No, the Spirit Wolf able to get off one more final shot there, as this Spirit Wolf gonna get taken out by ghouls. All right, Farseer still wandering around. Tauren Chieftain doing a little bit of solo creeping as well. Spiral has finally found his footing, and we're going to be seeing a little bit of we're going to see a little bit of creeping here, as Spiral sits on a level 1 Farseer and a level 1 Tauren Chieftain. 2 bases soon to be up for X-Lord. X-Lord perhaps going to be trying to train up some more Acolytes and then tech to tier 2, as that Crypt Lord will get to level 3 off of this creep camp. Blight still out on this section of the map. There is a Bestiary followed by a Tauren Totem. It is going to be Spirit Walkers, interestingly enough, perhaps because there is going to be major delay in those Obsidian statues and eventually those Destroyers. If you know that your opponent is not going to be able to get Devour Magic that early, well, you know that Spirit Link is going to make it even much more difficult to try and take down any of those units, as the Raiders perhaps going to try and take down that Carrion Beetle. 1 or 2 more shots should do it. Carrion Beetle now looking to back away anyways. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 1 will get to level 2, as Spiral looks to set up an expansion of his own. Alright, so we are... Oh, tier 1, okay. Alright, coming back around, Crypt Lord sitting at level 3. All of these Carrion Beetles well, doing their thing, going after these creep camps. Cryptlord going to get closer to level 4. I do not believe it will be able to do exactly that. And this Cryptlord is essentially creeping by himself. These 6 carry-on beetles are all his summons, and the fact that they are, do not have timed life means that he can just constantly make them. He is constantly resummoning them, and then making sure that the low hit point ones are further away so that they are going to go ahead and shrivel up. All right, Goblin Zeppelin, nearly full, beautiful, backing up right there, making sure he doesn't reveal to his opponent that that Zeppelin is going to drop right in on this expansion. This expansion just now started to get constructed, as it doesn't look like it will. It may end up getting canceled here, as the, well, in comes the carry-on beetles. Here we go, trying to drop in all of those units, and now trying to finish off these remaining things here. All right, that's leaving behind 6 beetles to finish off and cancel this expansion. Beautifully done. However, the beetles are going to go ahead and end up burrowing, but still giving a bit of experience again. All right, Cryptlord on the move once more. We are looking at a potion of lesser invulnerability. Are we going to see another expansion perhaps be trying to be placed down? No, not as of yet, as the units are looking to back away. Again, one Demolisher just wandering around here. This is free experience for XLord. Not quite sure what Spiral is hoping to do with one Demolisher away from the rest of anywhere else. Perhaps going to get in a little bit of damage here. Going to end up getting slowed now. And with that said, there is a more experience as the Cryptlord almost gets to level 4. Beetles are going to be dropping inside the base off to the side here, and we've seen how much harassment those beetles can really do. They just constantly burrow themselves and come back up again. Cryptlord doing a little bit of shopping and rearranging of his items, and we'll see what that Cryptlord wants to do next. We are teching to tier 2, maybe a very fast tech into tier 3 momentarily, as XLord is sitting on 1,200 gold. A large amount of gold indeed. I don't see that Altar of Darkness anywhere, so that Altar of Darkness was unsummoned for this tower attempt, as the, well, beetles are now making their way over and trying to focus down or get some damage across here. All right, damage after damage. There are some massive repairs. Damage getting onto the carry-on beetles. Is it going to try to burrow itself so it stays alive, as the units are still making their moves around again? Another, there's some disenchants right there, finishing off many of those units. And that Spirit Walker, the perfect counter to those burrowed carry-on beetles, still dealing damage and AoE. All right, level 4 now on the Cryptlord. Level 2 Impale, ready to go. More carry-on beetles being summoned back up, as the Cryptlord will try to get to level 5. However, the Tauren Chieftain is all right there, and there's a couple of disenchants. There's that Impale. Is the Cryptlord going to be able to escape? Tauren Chieftain trying to pick up some items. There is a stomp right there as well, as the Tauren Chieftain finding the Cryptlord in an uncomfortable spot. All right, low hit point. Ghouls trying to run away, and it looks like one of them will be able to escape. Come on, there's a Tome of Agility. Spiral. All right. Back off to the north here. One carry-on beetle in position. One Goblin Zeppelin hiding off to the north, giving sight. It looks like Spiral will be leaving that Spirit Walker right there to prevent all of that harassment. All right. Cryptlord going back around, and then Snare. Cryptlord is in trouble. Does he have a way out of this? No, he does not. There is a Stomp as well. He could try an Impale. Nope, doesn't even need to Impale in order to get away. There is another Ensnare again, as XLord is forced to burn a Scroll of Town Portal. All right, Spiral is not a reader, although the sacred text just not being completely neglected, as Spiral does set up this expansion with really no problem whatsoever. Peon going back and forth, however, unable to pass through. Staff of Teleportation. It looks like we are going to be seeing the Cryptlord right here again, going to get in some extra damage. There goes another Peon, and it is going to end up summoning another 2 beetles again. The Watchtower going to get shut down here. Are we going to get a Scroll of Town Portal as well? Or are we going to see another Peon get taken down, as the Raiders are already in position? Are we, well, going to get a Scroll of Town Portal instead, as XLord could be in trouble? There's the Impale, going to try and get away. Are we going to see one more Ensnare? The Cryptlord trying to retreat back as quickly as it can, as the Raiders are just off to the races. There's that Ensnare that we were expecting. Boots of Speed not allowing the Cryptlord to escape, as the Tauren Chieftain tries to line up a Stomp but does not get it. Solo Cryptlord destroying the Orc economy. So powerful. The Goblin Zeppelin picking up one of those carrion beetles as it retreats away. There's another carrion beetle burrowed, hiding off to the south here, and perhaps this carrion beetle can even take down a Goblin Shredder if Spiral is not paying attention. So much harassment coming in from just one hero. 2-1 upgrades on these beetles as well. A carrion beetle is lining up right there. Where is that Goblin Shredder going to go? Beetles are now back out of the ground. Perhaps they're going to try and get in a little bit of damage on that Goblin Shredder. Goblin Shredder turns around and says, I see you. I'm going to try and squash you. As damage is being done here. Watchtower about to get taken down. There goes the Watchtower as the Goblin Zeppelin is still just playing with all of these beetles and causing so many problems as well. All right, beetle after beetle going to try and back away. Are they just going to burrow again as this XLord beetle does get taken down? Meanwhile, back down to the south, Crypt Lord and Death Knight still engaging here as they're going to clean up those Goblin Merchants. All right, one carrion beetle looks like it will get taken down. There it goes. And, well, we'll see what happens here. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3, and Farseers both sitting at level 3 as well. All right. 5-4-4-3 creep camp. Tauren Chieftain not throwing down a stomp, wanting to save that mana when going up against the undead army. Death Knight and Crypt Lord now making their rounds out as well. Death Knight really wants to get to level 2 for Unholy Aura and faster movement speed. Solo Crypt Lord, yeah, it has to be very, very tilting. The amount of micro and the amount of investment, actual gold investment on all of this harass has been nil to none, as the Crypt Lord has just been constantly being able to bring units over. Yes, maybe a Goblin Zeppelin for good measure, but then again, that Goblin Zeppelin is often just stays alive and then is useful later on in the game as well, even as a scout against all of these units here. Scroll of Speed being used. Crypt Lord going to try and finish off the remainder of this creep camp. There he goes. Going to go ahead and use a Scroll of Town Portal to get away. Death Knight is going to pick up the Tome of Intelligence +2. No, he is not. We'll see if Spiral likes Tome of Intelligence +2. Apparently, he does not, leaving behind the sacred text once more. Farseer sitting at level 4, Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3. Spiral apparently not reading up on how to get extra armor or extra mana at this point. As the Farseer Tauren Chieftain gonna go ahead and Tauren Chieftain may be able to level up here. Farseer may be too close though, taking some of that precious experience as well. Now Crota's tilted. No, I'm just disappointed. Well, maybe I am tilted. Can I explain my bad casting today because I'm tilted because players aren't reading tomes? That's just an excuse. That's not really a reason. Tauren Chieftain gonna get to level 4 here. As we now see a Lich adding into the undead army. All right, we've gotten into the late game. XLord with double Spirit Towers, Nerubian Tower. This expansion very well protected. Back off to the north here, Crypt Lord sitting at level 4, gonna perhaps try and shut down the expansion here. Goblin Shredder pretty much clearing up all of these trees here, making it much easier for Spiral to try and defend the location. What's going to be happening next? XLord still has a good amount of gold in the bank, and both sides sitting at 79 supplies compared to 72 as the battle about to rage on. Tauren Chieftain going to go ahead, perhaps try and lay down a stomp. There is the Impale picking up many of those units, but the Crypt Lord taking far too much damage as the Destroyers are now going to try and engage here. All right, going after all of those units, a couple of Destroyers. Are we going to see another healing or anything of that? Deathcoil saves the Crypt Lord temporarily, but he is still in trouble. Has a potion of mana. It gets taken down as the level 2 Death Knight now has to lead the army. All right, Destroyers are all right here. We're going to see a little bit more damage. Level 3 on that Death Knight. Tauren Chieftain trying to get away down to 200 hit points. Has a potion of greater healing. He uses it and is going to be able to throw down another stomp here in just a moment. There it goes. Another stomp across multiple Crypt Fiends. Death Knight also caught in that stomp as well. Lich gets up to level 3. More battling. Are we going to see some more Frost Nova? No, as those units are all backing away, as those Berserkers are just getting taken down as well. Crypt Fiends, good odd life. 54 supply compared to 61 right now, as the battle's still going back and forth. Destroyers able to eat a lot. Death Knight falls at level 3. Now the level 2 Lich is the only thing being left alive, as the Crypt Lord joins in on the fight, gets up to level 5. And what is going to happen? Is it going to be level 3 Impale? No, gets a big Impale across all of those units on the back, but is it going to be enough? Units are now still trying to get away. Crypt Lord, what is it doing? Crypt Lord is extremely low on hit points as the Torrent are back out onto the field here, getting in that Pulverize as well. All right, third ability still not being picked up by that Crypt Lord as of yet. A level 3 Impale, perhaps doing a little bit more damage. Death Knight is out here as well, and how did it get here so quickly? I thought the Death Knight fell as well, as we're looking at the Crypt Lord trying to get away down to 129 hit points. Units are backing up again. We are looking at the units still fighting their way through as the Tauren Chieftain backs away from that Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord down to 159 hit points, still getting healed by that Obsidian statue. All right, level 2 Lich now taken down as well. Death Knight trying to retreat all the way back. Tauren Chieftain doesn't have enough mana for a stomp, but we do see a Hex onto that Death Knight, and that Death Knight gonna have a very bad day indeed. Nope, able to Death Coil through that one Spirit Wolf, but still gonna get partially surrounded. Tauren Chief or Death Knight trying to back away, ends up backing himself into a corner. All right, Death Knight falls at level 3, and it looks like Spiral, after a shaky opening, being able to reestablish himself, taking down XLord's heroes multiple times, as we're looking at 49 supply compared to 50. XLord is lower on does have more gold in the bank, but he will be forced to resurrect his heroes, and without, well, there is that Altar of Darkness being rebuilt, now trying to train up the Lich and that Death Knight to follow up. What is Spiral going to do during this time? He is able to perhaps get to level 5 on his Farseer and Tauren Chieftain if he clears out some difficult creep camps, or he can try and put pressure on his opponent's base. Both are viable options right here. Farseer just going to be able to get off one easy shot there. Does it get to level 5? No, it doesn't. But then again, you don't want to reveal level 5 to your opponent unless you have to. And getting to level 5 on both the Farseer and the Tauren Chieftain here would be very beneficial. Level 5 on Spiral's Farseer as he now backs away. Kodo Beast getting in the way right there. Tauren Chieftain right there. Is it going to get to level 5? Yes, and level 3 on the Shadow Hunter. A big, huge power spike overall, as it was originally a 4-4-2 hero combination, now going into 5-5-3. Level 2 Healing Wave, level 3 Stomp, and level 3 Spirit Wolves in that next battle. I don't know if XLord will be ready to, well, fend off against all of that. XLord still holding on to low or no upkeep as long as he can, finally bursting into low upkeep here, training up multiple Obsidian statues, and, well, training up that Death Knight as well. We are looking at triple Crypts, and still, what can Spiral really do here? Spiral sitting on a smaller or a slightly larger army, but a little bit less gold. I expect XLord to be able to catch up quickly, as he still has gold in the bank to spend. No one's setting up a third base as of yet. Sacred Text being left behind. Burrowed Carrion Beetles all in position to do a bit of scouting as well, making sure that there are no hidden expansions anywhere. Main gold mines about to mine out. This gold mine has already mined out as well. And what is XLord's follow-up play going to be? 79 supply going up against 71. 65 supply army going up against 62. Peons, well, working here as Spiral getting mastery witch doctors for healing. All right, not something you see every day. Mastery witch doctors for healing. Yes, we are going to be able to see some of those Watcher wards, but to see at least 3 witch doctors, that means there should be enough mana between these 3 witch doctors, as long as they're not constantly spamming out healing wards. And with the Taurens and the Kodos out on the field, that is going to be a very big difference. It's not going to be very successful in battle, though, as the Destroyers should be able to devour magic, and we're looking at an army of Obsidian statues. All right, that is a large number of Obsidian statues indeed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Obsidian statues that will most likely turn into Destroyers, and they're just going to start absorbing and then turning into Destroyers again and again. That is going to be a bit of a scary battle. The Taurens are going to melt rather fast, and, well, the timing is going to be key. How do you counter Destroyers with mana? Well, you normally just try not to engage against them, as the destroyers are so anti-magic, according to lore, that they cannot hold on to magic for very long. All right, there goes a giant stomp. Damage coming through. Well, there goes the healing wards as well. And then a major impale, finishing off many of those berserkers. XLord absolutely destroying this army, and this is a rather large army indeed, going after unit after unit. Tauren's going to get taken down. Lich getting focused down. There's a quick impale to try and save that Lich, as all of the units around it were temporarily stunned. More battle raging on through. The mass destroyers right here, but the destroyers 2-3 upgrades. Are they doing enough damage as more healing wards are being placed down, only to get devoured magic again? Tauren Chieftain, who is winning out the battle, 64 compared to 68. Constant impale once more. Destroyers trying to finish off more of those Taurens and those berserkers, as the destroyers are just finishing off unit after unit. Shadow Hunter about to get taken down. There it goes. No healing wave being used right there at the last possible moment. Crypt Lord uses a potion of invulnerability to stay alive, as the destroyers are now eating through again. 68 supply compared to 57. XLord with so many destroyers. I do not believe Spiral was expecting that. Kodo Beast now trying to retreat as well, as we're looking at the Tauren even engaging against those burrowed Crypt Fiends. All right, engaging against burrowed Crypt Fiends, not the best, but those Taurens don't have any other targets, and it looks like XLord is just going to be able to finish off unit after unit and finish off the Kodo Beast, followed by the Farseer, and once they are done, there is no more air or units that can attack the air at all. All right, units are trying to back away. Acolytes now making their way over. Death Knight should be getting the Death Coil off onto that Crypt Lord here in just a moment, as we see a 70 supply going up against 55. There goes that Farseer, level 6 on the Crypt Lord, and XLord takes the game with a surprise number of destroyers at the very end. That tech switch absolutely catching me off guard. And I have a map hack, so Spiral definitely not ready for that change up right there, going into over what I gotta believe over 8 destroyers at one point. And those destroyers all had mana, being able to deal so much damage, and also the fact that the Crypt Lord was able to impale from a distance, stunning many of those berserkers early on, and then switching, stunning those berserkers early on. Those berserkers then weren't dealing damage, they were taken out, tipping things in favor of the mass air army. That mass air army, all of a sudden, when you see 15 to 20 supply of Tauren out on the field, you realize that there isn't enough berserkers on the ground when those supplies were about even. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.